So what do we have here? I believe 11 minutes long. It's typically a reason to be excited because those songs are more operatic and stuff. We will see. Cool. The drums there. That was a full-fledged intro, dude. It was like a whole complete section in itself. Cool. We do have the violins back. It's nice what kind of mood they created there. It had something homely, cozy to it. But through this neoclassical style, it also had something aristocratic. It has elements of this extravagant classical feeling, but it kind of feels a bit like home, you know? And then they're really subtle, were some sparkles from the keyboard. I think somewhere there in the middle. There's also a bit dancing here. And it also could easily evolve into something grand, but it doesn't, it decides not to. That's what I assume is gonna happen later in the song. Getting a bit heroic here. Come on, guitarists. They picked up that previously established melody pretty well. And it was like gradually picking up speed and intensity. Very anime, that melody, by the way. Notice that organ in the background just holding those notes. We have this speedy stuff in the foreground, but we have this element of calm faith in the background, which is some sort of baseline to all of this, right? That's a cool detail, I think. That's a cool entry. That was cool. That resolve here. Tremoling. Tremolo. Sorry, there was something in my eye. It was definitely not a tear or something. That's cool. I think I said before it sounded kind of anime-esque. To me, personally, it sounds a bit nostalgic. I mean, some moments more than others. For example, when it's briefly switched to this piano instrumental right before the chorus. That's so cool. Turning back to the organ. I'm also getting some Destiny vibes for some reason. It might be related to the fact that we're constantly looking at this image of this flying dragon there, but I think like the general mood, especially like of the background arrangement there, has a lot of this positive Destiny kind of feel to me. That was kind of a like fake resolve, right? We had this, I don't know how exactly it works, but it set up a satisfying conclusion with that one chord, but they didn't give you that because they wanted to continue and do another iteration. And they're just going a bit oh, still no result. That's a thing Shu has liked to do for like a few years now. We're having these like constant switches of the rhythm in the second guitar. Fast riffage, we had tremolo picking, and now we're having these when he hits those open chords. That's like such a cool and simple thing when he just plugs the power chord with the palm mute and then plays the rest of the high notes open. It's like this. It's holding back and release of this chord. So it vibes like Destiny, but it's a bit more emotional. Woo! That was cool with the like woo into that chord, and directly afterwards the keyboard also dropping with a kind of sliding motion. Woo! That was mostly flexing and shredding, but it was really cool flexing and shredding, dude. Oh, we have some swelling going on here. Getting more open at the top. They're so high right now, what the frick? Usually we have a balance between, you know, we're down at the bottom and then we're like rising up and stuff gets bright and stuff, but like in this song, we're already starting off high, like mood-wise and note-wise, I suppose. They're like mostly utilizing that section of Euphoria for the whole song, basically. cool how those violins emerge there in this whirlwind in the background. And now they're in the background. Still no resolution? Show is insane, dude. I know that melody. Dude. That operatic voice in the background. Okay, I ran a bit out of words there in the end. Like, dude, it's a bit weird to film yourself while listening to that kind of stuff because no cap, I almost started crying in the end. Like, what the f? That was so freaking good. And I mean, without having listened to this, one has to wonder how one can make an 11-minute song, which is solely based around the concept of starting already pretty high and then rising up even further. But I guess now we've heard it. If you think about it, even the macro structure of the song kind of works like that, right? Because in the beginning we have this already comfy, cozy mood, like I called it, and it's rather on the low end compared to the rest of the song, and we have this progression throughout the song, and in the end it's like just this. Now I get where this album cover comes from. Just to peek a bit into the beginning again. It's a bit more moody and like muted and, you know, all of that stuff. And then, of course, it explodes already when the main song starts. I think the intro, just the like instrumental and guitars and stuff, already has 3 levels of progression before the vocals even start. Starting off low here. And the chorus is like straight up. Awesome. But I think what totally killed me was really this last quarter of the song, this like grand outro kind of thing. That's what like absolutely blew my face off. That's like, and it's like not just this like flex or friction kind of stuff. It also musically sounds really good. I'm not saying other instances where he does this don't sound musical, but let's say, for example, Angel of Salvation. We have this infamous high scream, but it's like the section of the song which culminates in the highest drama and conflict we have in the entire song, right? You clearly have this isolation from the scream and the music, but here in this case, it's like just a part of the music. Somewhere there. That's the melody from the intro song. Remember? That's also so smart, right? Because that's exactly the point. You can go back to that video. I said that's the moment where the melody of the intro song now gets like dramatic or emotional or something. So it was a transition from very uplifting to, okay, it gets emotional now. And now they're bringing it back in the like last grand, it's not the final song. I think there's an outro song as well, but it's this last grand finale. I'm pretty sure. And now in the end of that, they're bringing back this melody. That's so freaking smart, and it works because it has this nostalgia vibe they already built throughout the song. That's so insane, dude. Those staccatos. And it still sounds so good. This tension and release. You know, we're already at this culminating high spot with those staccatos. We were already there, but it was still constricted. And now they release it full force. I can't even put into words how well that works for me. I'm so glad they had that classical bup, 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 like almost comical ending for that, because if it just would have ended into the void without that a bit comical conclusion, and I think actually it would make sense if classical pieces originally would have put in those conclusions for that exact reason. So you get a bit of a grasp again and aren't just left with those overwhelming emotions they've built there in the end. But look, I don't know about you. This outro was one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, period. Period. Okay? I'm not gonna make a great scene here because I'm filming myself doing this, but this was phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. It did something I've never expected I would hear. So I think that's all I can say about this. And of course, please let me know what your thoughts on are this, because that's crazy, dude. And now after And now after we've calmed down a bit, hopefully, let's continue with a quick run through the lyrics. It's mostly Japanese this time. Looking out over the horizon, as I approach it, it moves away from me again. The light of life is about to fade away, bleached by the wind. Tomorrow I'm sure a warm light will shine, will illuminate a wounded hope. Believe that and fear no more. I will never break this heart. So we're having just like a bunch of stacked imagery based on that thing of, okay, I believe now. Well, believe in what? I mean, first of all, maybe that just things will go on and that things will be fine. We have this here. As I approach it, it moves away from me again. It's this horizon. I don't know why I'm obsessed with horizons in this kind of way. That's why I'm so fascinated. Actually, why Galneryus also has a lot of this imagery in it. And as I said, you usually hear it in the music as well. The light of life is about to fade away, bleached by the wind. So the wind in this horizon setting kind of functioning as the tides here, which erodes away the light, which might be the root of this element of doubt, of this idea that, okay, things won't be fine, things won't come back again. But it's like this central struggle. Despite this doubt, I still believe. That's probably the thing the song is about. Tomorrow, I'm sure a warm light will shine. So that's the progression, basically. Illuminate a wounded hope. It's also cool. It's always this light kind of theme, and I totally get it. It has to be light. Also makes sense on a musical level, because a lot of sounds that can be produced, especially if we hear like Yuki's keyboard, but also a lot of stuff the guitar plays, that sounds like light in some kind of way. I will never break this heart. I just believe in myself. I still have a glimmer of light. Feel the warmth that's fading away. Broken wings fly again. I'll flap my wings to that sky, even though fate may tear me apart. Almost reads like a direct continuation of the first album. It also has a bit of vibes of closure in some way. Let's hope it won't be the last album of Galneryus, but like, if it is, we will respect that as well, I suppose. I mean, also a cool element is this, even though fate may tear me apart. It's the possibility that bad things can happen and probably will happen at some point, but I still keep on believing. That's core thing in this. And this might have been the chorus, but I'm not sure about that. Close your eyes and gently touch my hand. Feel the breath of this earth. The heartbeat of hope is pulsing as if it will stop at any moment. Tomorrow, with even more unshakable thoughts, I will go on to the endless future. Believe that, and there is no need for sadness. No sorrow is needed. We have a kind of connection between the person talking and whoever they're addressing, and it's not hard to imagine that like we're actually the ones being addressed here. I think something similar happened in The Force of Courage, for example, where they had a similar sequence where they were singing in a choir kind of style in the end, addressing almost the person listening, basically. I just stand for the truth. And 2 times I just stand for the truth in Japanese. And again, different writings. I would be really interested in what exactly this is about here. Life still goes on and on. One more time I pray to the sky, even if fate has forsaken me. You see, it keeps on expanding on this, gathering strength and hope to keep going on, basically. And like, no matter what's going on here, right? We have I stand for the truth in English, I stand for the truth in Japanese, and I stand for the truth in a different way in Japanese. This repetition makes it quite important, a pretty important element of the equation. But I think we've touched a bit on this in past episodes, so let's just keep it at that. Tomorrow, I'm sure a soft light will wrap around your broken heart. And with this belief, there's no need to be afraid. My heart will never break. This emphasis on tomorrow is also worth pointing out, because if one is in a non-optimal situation, it might just be the case that they're not able to see any light or hope or whatever. But the belief the song is talking about, basically, is just like this notion, despite you can see no hope at the moment, just wait for tomorrow. It could also be like a metaphorical tomorrow. Just because you're not able to see the way right now, this doesn't mean that it won't show up in the future or something. I just believe in myself. The light is still shining. Feel the warmth that's fading away. Broken wings fly again. I'll flap my wings to that sky, even if fate takes it all away, no matter how many times. That seems to be a central Galneryus imagery, this spreading out your wings, flying towards the sky, and this constant struggle of being knocked down again. But there seems to be a pretty firm determination in this song. It has an intense sense of closure in some way. Swear to the sky I will overcome. Pray for the truth, the stars will light my life. I will never turn back and run away, even if everything is clogged in darkness. Just believe in myself and accept my fate. My soul still lives, no one can take my heart away. Quite an element of stoicism here being introduced. To be true or to live in a truthful kind of manner, how it was proclaimed earlier in the song. One kind of has to have that because there will be obstacles and struggles and catastrophes, but you just have to take them. So now I will stand there again and raise my spirit again. For my dear, for my faith, I will fight again and again. I will stand once again and raise my fist to the sky. I will stand there again. Just run to the utopia. This ticks so many boxes for the conclusion of this album. I'm really wondering how there's still a song coming after that. I'm pretty sure that's just an outro song. Yeah, anyway, that was a somewhat special song. And I think it tried also to be a somewhat special song. I mean, you can already see it in the length. They're usually not doing songs like that for fun. I believe was written by Shu. Yeah, he's a kind of nerd in that regard. Also, like Angel of Salvation and all of that stuff. And all of those like giant monstrosities of songs. This deserves really quite some respect. That's just crazy. I hope you enjoyed the album so far and like the album in general, because now we're close to the conclusion. As always, thanks for watching. And I believe that wasn't the end of the reactions. It was just the beginning. See you next week.